I will let you show me yours, and then we can crack together.
I don't know that we should say show me yours. That probably doesn't sound right, but we're not in the same room, so I don't know. Then it's really weird.
It took Tiger 1,197 days to go from one major win to 4. That is exactly, to the day, what Scotty Scheffler did today. That is freakishly odd.
I hope he keeps it up because, to be quite honest, I love watching greatness, and I like watching people continue to be great. I would just like to say for the record that both of our dark horses missed the cut.
I was just going to say, dark horses, they remain dark. Yeah.
They stayed very dark. They didn't make it.
They stayed in the shadows, that's right.
Just a reminder, mine was Adam Scott. He finished at +9 on Friday and missed the cut. And Chris's was Colin Morikawa, who finished at 7 over and also failed to make the cut. Welcome to the In Regulation Podcast. This is episode 3. You've got, as always, the owners of In Reg Apparel, Chris Ulmer and Mike Tulio. We're happy to have you back this week. Thanks for tuning in. We've got a lot of stuff to go over. We've got the Open Championship. We've got some other things going on in the PGA that we're going to touch on and get to on this podcast. Chris, welcome.
Hey, Mike, how you doing? It's been a great Sunday.
It has been a great Sunday. What time did you start watching the Open Championship today?
Honestly, I was watching it and checking in and out on my phone as I was playing hoops this morning. I was checking in,
Nice.
But then I actually started watching as soon as I got home, which was about noon.
Oh, okay.
So it
Gotcha.
was putting the final pairing on the back nine, roughly. So
Well, my wife and I had our anniversary dinner last night, so I was out a little later than normal, so I got up a little later than I normally do, took the dog for a walk, and got the Open on at around 7 in the morning instead of like my normal, 5:30, 6 o'clock.
well, happy anniversary to you and your wife.
Thank you. Speaking of that, let's see about what we're drinking this week, because I have something new to share with you, and I think you told me you had something new to share with me. So I'll give you the nod and go first, and you can tell us
All
what
right.
you're drinking this week.
So this week, I'm doing this the correct way. I did not pre-pour. I'm going to be drinking 8 Oaks, and this is a double cask series. And this actual bourbon is casked in a Pinot previous wine cask. So this is a first go for me, but 8 Oaks is a local distillery for us in New Tripoli, Pennsylvania. And
Very nice.
I'm excited to try it. So I will let you show me yours, and then we can crack together.
I don't know that we should say show me yours. That probably doesn't sound right, but we're not in the same room, so I don't know. Then it's really weird. Anyway.
I think there's still some law about that.
So I am going to crack open an anniversary gift that I got, which is some Whistle Pig 10-year small batch rye. I don't know if any of y'all have ever had this, but this stuff is really good. I've had it. In fact, Chris and I had it together once at a bar up in Massachusetts when we were at the Northeast Golf Show. But at any rate, this is what I'm drinking tonight, and I'm cracking this open. So
here we go. Let's do it.
All right. I'll let you pour first, and then I'll do mine.
See if I get let's see if I get the noise that you usually get, which is awesome.
Ooh, nice.
There we go. Little shout out to my team as well.
Oh, there we go. Go Birds.
I'm set.
Oh, that didn't make a lot of noise. That came right open. Well, let's just pour it, because that's what I'm excited for. That was a nice pour. All right.
Here we go.
Cheers, Chris. Here we go. Cheers, sir.
Here's to number 3.
Third podcast.
Ooh.
That's good. So let's dig into the Open Championship.
Let's dig in.
First off, I'm just going to say Chris picked Scotty. And
winning.
He won. So we're not worthy.
It wasn't that hard of a choice. Come on.
It wasn't really like he went out on a limb picking the number one player in the world, though.
No. I just felt he's been due in the last couple tournaments that he's been playing, and I know he hasn't been happy because he's not happy unless he's first. If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah. You know, all that talk he had about, oh, what's the point and all this other stuff, and then he goes out there and just absolutely lights it on fire. And I was like, I don't know what drives you then, man, if it's not everything else, if it's not winning. But he does say that he's competitive, though, and his wife says that he's competitive. So it's in there. He likes to win. So
I think it's winning, but I think it's more of I can do this, and it doesn't matter about the paycheck at the end of the day for him. It's about his display of his talent, and that he can forget about the last shot and just focus on the current shot. I mean,
yeah,
and that is a huge, huge advantage.
Yeah, he has like one of the best bounce back rates on the tour of get a bogey, go back and get a birdie, right? Just clean it up. Oops, I made a mistake, right? And like today he had like a double or something, and then still ended up at 17 under. So
yeah, and he
gave everybody a small little bit of window of hope, and then he was like, yeah, never mind. I'm just going to go ahead and win.
Yeah.
It's like he Happy Gilmore. I'm just going to beat him now.
Yeah. I think he did what he needed to. He left a couple out there, which is even sad to say. He left a couple birdie putts out there, but at the end of the day, he just played solid, safe golf on the back nine to take it to the line. That's it.
Yeah. You know what though? I mean, I'll say this, and it was pretty cool. So I kind of watched a little bit, and then I had to be in the car for a little bit because I was doing a bunch of stuff this morning and running around like I do most Sunday mornings. But so I was listening on Sirius, and I mean, right out of the gate, Haotong Li, kudos to him for being in that group, that final pairing with Scottie.
He seemed really excited to be there. He did.
He really did.
At the end, he was like, yeah.
He had a really cool quote that I'll pull up here and we'll talk about in a minute. But
player to be in the final pairing, correct? I believe I heard that.
I don't know. Is that what they said? That's really
what
cool.
I heard. First Chinese player to ever be in a final pairing in any tournament.
That's awesome.
So that's a huge hurdle right there for him. Yeah.
He seems like a very nice, humble guy. And that's a big spot for somebody who's not used to being in a big spot like that to be in. And like I said, first hole, he came out and stuck one. And Scheffler came out and stuck one right next to it. And I was like, wow. I'm like, Scotty just was like, oh, yeah, you're pretty good, but watch this, right?
Whatever
and
you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, right. It was one of those things. I'm like, Scotty just wasn't going to let him get the better of him. And I think it wore on that guy as the day went on, and he made some mistakes. But again, tip of the cap to him. And apparently he had a conversation. He had talked about it afterwards where, he said to Scotty, he's like, hey, he said he's a really nice guy to play with. It was great. He enjoyed playing with Scotty, and he said he wanted to come to the States and, play on the PGA at some point. And he told Scotty, he goes, hey, so if I text you, you better answer. And Scotty looks at me and goes, Haotong who? And he's like, oh, man. He goes, it was really funny. So he goes, he was really a lot of fun to play with. So he said Scotty was very nice, and they kind of made fun.
I mean, tied for fourth. So. He's right in there. He was with a good group of Clark and Fitzpatrick. I mean, they all took 730,000 homeland, but
nothing to sneeze at. That's for sure.
I was impressed that Fitzpatrick and Lee actually hung there from yesterday and stayed in it because especially with Lee playing against Scheffler, but
that's tough.
Matt Fitzpatrick played a great game too, and Wyndham Clark took a dive, but then he clawed back.
Well, he had a rough first day and then played really well the rest of the week. And so did DeChambeau. I mean, Bryson shot a 78 on the first day and almost was out of it, and then came back and shot 6 under on day 2 to make the cut, and actually had a really good weekend. I mean, if he would have If he would have not shot 78 the first day, he would have been battling Scotty for the win. But
Tied 10th.
you know what they say about woulda, coulda, shoulda, but still.
Yeah,
Great resilience.
tied 10th with Brian Harmon too, and that poor
Yeah.
guy. He had it going and then didn't.
Oh, man, he really did. Well, look, some people are born to win majors and just have it. Tiger, Jack, right? Those guys just knew how to get it done. And as humble and as ho-hum Scotty is about winning, he seems to have that gear that he knows how to just turn it on. And that's pretty cool.
I don't think he likes anything other than first.
I would agree. If you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that. Again, I want to say I don't think it's anything about the money. I mean, he took home 3.1 million today. That's not a bad weekend.
No, it's a good payday.
Yeah, I mean, but at this point, I mean, that's just gravy on the boat. I mean, I think he loves those trophies and he likes to share in the spotlight. Do want to give a shout out, obviously, to being in Ireland. McIlroy did pretty well, and he had a great following there. Everybody was going ho hum about him, and it was he was making some good shots, and coming up on 18, it was pretty fun, and I think he settled in to actually enjoy to play and enjoy the crowd today. I think he said he finally did. The weekend,
Yeah. Well, I think he knew, especially coming down the stretch. He's like, Scotty's not going to drop 6-7 shots and fall into my lap. Like, that's not going to happen. So let me take it in. And you know what? The crowd was awesome to him. They were awesome to Shane Lowry, who again, he had like stomach issues or something yesterday. He said it was really bad and he played really awful yesterday, and he was really upset about it. But
all the natives, yeah.
He had a good day today too, though. Lowry played really well today, even though his overall finish wasn't fantastic. He had a good day today. Where did he finish? 2 under, 3
well,
under?
Well, I know Rory came out finishing, and he did end up saying he's got high praise for Scotty, and he said he is the bar we're all trying to get to. That is a direct quote, and I think that says something, because Rory's been around, and
yeah.
But I have one other fantastic statistic that I saw, and I don't know that you saw this, but I got to throw it out there.
Do share.
It took Tiger 1,197 days to go from one major win to 4. That is exactly, to the day, what Scotty Scheffler did today.
Yep. I did see that stat. They put it up right at the end.
1,197 days. That is freakishly odd.
It really is. So I caught that on my phone, actually, because I was at, of all things to go to on Open Championship Sunday, a baby shower that I got roped into that my sister was supposed to go to as well, and she bailed, so I have a bone to pick with her. But at any rate, I was there, so I was watching it on my phone, like off in the corner somewhere, so that people wouldn't think I was being rude, and I was trying to see it, and I turned it on right as Scotty was finishing up his round. And I was kind of checking my phone, and I'm like, he's gonna win. He had a 4-shot lead. He was on 17. I'm like, he's gonna win. I just want to see it. So I watched him do that and like hug his family. But then they put that stat on TV, and I thought that was really cool. So
that I mean, is that foreshadowing? I don't even know what you want to call that. Like, I mean,
I don't know. I don't know how much you can read into
eerie.
That, but it is kind of eerily.
You get a couple little shivers. I mean, there's never going to be another Tiger Woods, but within his own right, this guy is just dominating.
And I don't think, to be totally clear, I don't think all the Tiger to Scotty comparisons are even fair to either one of them, for that matter.
No, they're not.
I get that Tiger was probably the greatest thing we saw for a solid 10 to 12 years. And even better than what Jack did in that time span. If you look at Jack's career, he did a lot of things, and he has some things that Tiger doesn't have, like the majors and the runner-ups and all that other stuff, but it was a much longer time frame. And Tiger has he did it all in like 10 years, and it was insane. Nobody could touch him.
Yeah, it is. I totally agree with you. You can't compare and say it's apples to apples. You can't compare apples to apples from Packer or Arnie Palmer to Tiger. You can't do that. I mean, different eras, different technology in these clubs, balls,
Yeah,
everything. I mean, the drives are insanely long now. I mean, a par four. There was a par four that was drivable today.
yeah,
Like these guys were hitting on the green, and so I mean, but in their own era, kings. I mean,
yeah.
absolutely. And I think we're watching another one being crowned pretty often.
Agreed. I hope he keeps it up because, to be quite honest, I love watching greatness, and I like watching people continue to be great. I think it's cool. All right, so let's talk about some other notables
Yes.
at the Open because there were quite a few. And I would start with Chris Gotterup,
Yep.
who backed up a win at the Scottish with a third place at the Open. I, look, last week we talked about it, and I was like, I don't know. I think it's a tough task, but he seems to play well. He's in that zone again. He was right there.
He was, and he didn't quit till the end, and
Nope.
he was taking some chances, and he was going straight at pins, and that's what you and I have talked about with used to be the Tiger effect. You see Scotty's name on the top, and you see that big of a spread, you've got to take chances, and this
Yeah.
course was not easy to take those chances on by any means.
Mm-mm.
But I was pleasantly surprised with him staying up there. I was, and
Yeah, I
that's
thought it
good
was
because
awesome.
I think he's going to become a name that people are going to remember.
I hope so. For his sake, he seemed like a really cool, humble dude, and I
Yes.
really hope that he continues the success.
Harry English, man.
Yeah. How about
Harris
that?
English, sorry, not Harry.
Harris
I mean
English. Yeah.
that poor guy. I mean that goes back to what he lost that playoff last year. Was it? I think it was in the, was it last year? I don't even remember how far it was ago, but he's always hanging around and pulling in second on his own. That was great for him. I felt good for him
Yeah.
too. And I guess he's actually good friends with Scotty. I heard.
Oh, is
So
he?
yeah,
Good for him. I don't know. Maybe they're from the same area or something. I don't know much about the guy, to be honest. I see him around once in a while, and then all of a sudden he's at the top of a leaderboard here and there, or he wins a tournament out of the blue, and I'm like, there's that guy again. And then like he disappears for like half a season, and you don't hear about him. So,
yeah.
but I mean, yeah, that was a great showing. He really played shot 5 under today. Good for him. Again, if it is a little bit of the Tiger effect in that if Scotty wasn't walking the field, it would have been a really tight race coming down to it at
Absolutely.
13, 12, 11, 10. I mean, there was a lot of guys right there that you could have had a cool playoff or something, but they were all playing for second.
Yeah, I think Scotty was up 7 at one point. I
He
mean,
was.
when you just see that, it's just like
He was. And he was like, all right, cruise control.
it's just
Not
like
going to take any
I
crazy
gotta play mediocre to
chances.
play safe, and that's it.
Right. A couple other notables. I wanted to give a shout out to Justin Leonard, who, if anybody knows anything about it, he won the Open in '97. And if anybody knows anything about Justin Leonard's career, it had been tumultuous at best. You know, he had a lot of injuries and he didn't play for a while. And yeah, he finished the day T59 and 2 over, but the guy made the cut. He made it through the whole weekend at the Open. He won a tournament on the Champions Tour this year, and it's just really nice to see him playing well because I always liked Justin Leonard. I thought he was a cool dude, and it was a shame that he really never had the career that everybody kind of thought he was going to have. He had a blip, and then it kind of went away.
Yeah.
So he was one. I had Ricky. Ricky had a good showing. It's nice to see Ricky Fowler put his name on the leaderboard in a major. He had a good day. Who's the other ones I had? JT
I went Shoffley. I mean,
Shoffley had a really nice. Um, yeah, where did he end up?
he had a nice finish.
T7.
He ended up
Yeah,
tied seventh,
T7. That's
but he was
good.
10 under. He was in that pack that you're talking about. Like,
He was. He was right there too.
he was
And
not making a putt to save his life. The poor guy. He was not. I think he was getting frustrated. JJ Spawn was
Yeah.
still hanging out there. Like he's still
Yeah,
relevant
he had
and
a good
minus
day.
six.
He had a good weekend, JJ Spawn. He played well over the weekend, shot 300 a day. He didn't go away either. And it was nice to see Ricky. JT made the cut and played decent. Phil made the cut. Love him or hate him. It was, Phil's 55 years old. He probably doesn't have too many opens left. So I thought it was kind of cool that he made the cut and played the weekend. And then obviously I kind of gave a shout out already, but Bryson, I had him down as a notable that I tip of the cap to him. He shot 7 under today
Did he? Yeah.
to finish
Well,
at 9 under for the tournament. I mean, he had a killer day. What's that? 64? That was what Scotty shot Saturday, right? Or
just
Friday
too
or Saturday
late.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just too late. Let's go with a real quick shout out to your pick, to your win pick.
Oberg?
Oberg hung in there. I mean, he was tied for
Yeah.
23rd, but minus six. Had a little rough, but I mean, had a rough first day. Had a shot a
Yeah.
780 today, but he had a 67, 68 in the middle 2 rounds, and he was in the thick of things, and just finished mediocre. But
Yeah, he was my pick to go all the way. I thought maybe he would be able to pull through because he played decent at the Scottish. And I was like, oh, this might be his time. Well, it's not yet, but maybe one day. I would just like to say for the record that both of our dark horses missed the cut.
I was just gonna say, dark horses, they remain dark. Yeah, they did not.
They stayed very dark. They didn't
They
make it to
stayed
the
in the
weekend.
shadows. That's right.
Just a reminder, mine was Adam Scott. He finished at +9 on Friday and missed the cut. And Chris's was Colin Morikawa, who finished at 7 over and also failed to make the cut.
I did much better with my winner pick. So, anyhow,
Yeah. So one more thing on the Open, and it was just kind of a funny. And I don't know if you caught it or if you heard it or if you saw it. Was did you catch the Smiley Kaufman F-bomb on the coverage that he dropped that he didn't
I
realize he dropped on air?
I did. I was like, did he just say that? It wasn't like a. Yeah, it was an
It was
afterthought
really
of was
quick,
that
and
real?
I would even think that some people probably didn't hear that. But
Yeah.
Mike Tirico did kind of backpedal real quick. He's like, "Oh, our microphones had a little bit of a problem. Sorry about that." And it was funny, but he did apologize. He said, "Hey, look, I heard a click in my ear, and I thought in our headsets here or in the States, that means that the mic has shut off and I was still talking. So I thought that my mic went dead. And that's why I said, what the F?" He goes, "I apologize. I didn't realize that the mic was still on because the headsets work differently over here." So
It's a shame it wasn't even like in relevance to like a great shot.
no, it wasn't. It was just
It
because
was
he
all
thought his
about the
mic
mic.
turned off in the middle of him speaking about something. And he was like, "What the?"
You can say it. We put up the we have
I
the
know we put up but it was
the
funny.
warning.
So it was just something kind of funny to bring up. I thought it was comical because I didn't hear what he said, but I was watching the broadcast and I heard Tirico apologizing for whatever had been said, and I was like, oh, maybe one of the players or somebody in the crowd, said something, and then I saw the post later that it was Smiley Kaufman who dropped the F-bomb, and I was like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah, usually I think the other day it was Shane Lowry.
Was it?
He threw some he off his tee shot and shanked it left or something, and it went downhill from there right there real quick on that because on the tee boxes the mics are all over the place.
Yeah.
Worst place to try to let it loose.
I'll tell you, the one that you really got to watch is Terrell Hatton. Man, does he get angry? But he's
I was
entertaining.
listening to the commentators talk about it, and they were talking about how he just. I wonder how many times he's got to go back with his sticks to go get him straightened out because he slams them in the ground so often. But he apparently had addressed it previously and said, "As soon as I slam that club down, it's over. That's my reaction. That's my close in, and I go on to the next shot." So that does take me to like one of my questions. Actually, I was going to ask, and this is like one of these days we'll put up a survey, but Is it okay for pros to lose it on a bad shot?
I think to a point, right? They expect to hit the ball a certain way, and also they practice and put in the time. So that when it goes wrong, I can kind of understand the frustration. Because look, I mean, how angry do we get and go out and shoot whatever it is that we shoot when in the 80s somewhere, right? But we still get mad when we hit a bad shot or we push one to the right of the green and put it in the bunker, and we get mad. So it's just, I don't know.
We get
I
mad, but
think,
it is not our career. So I could see the passion
yeah,
being way more extreme in the emotion with the pros. I think I totally agree with you that there's acceptance to a degree where they're only human, and like everybody else, okay, fine. So if you slam a club down, whatever, throwing a club, I don't think that's legitimate. Any kind of damage to anything, which Wyndham Clark talk about that. Um, but anyhow, not being able to go back to Oakmont, but yes, those things shouldn't happen.
no, I think that crosses the line.
Yeah, I don't
That's just a
agree how it
tantrum
was
at that point.
handled, that they came out publicly and burned him. I think that should have been done a little bit more privately. And I think
Yeah,
Clark could have got ahead of it, just as they mentioned in today's broadcast. Yeah, they're only human, and they're trying to. I want to say put food on their table. That's not really it. I think it's a passion for a win. It's a passion for playing well, but there has to come a limit, and I think with that limit comes some repercussions for acting out. It should be, you know. It's like if you were to look at the NBA, for example, and somebody does something egregiously, they're they're sitting, they're not playing next time.
mm-hmm.
There's a penalty for that, and that penalty hurts them in the wallet, but it hurts their pride too because they want to be out there playing. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing. But I agree with you. There's been a lot more passion and cursing and some other things that I think some of these guys have to get a little bit of hold of. But we said this in the last podcast. This game is a mental game.
It is 100% a mental game.
So
It definitely will try everything that you have upstairs to try and keep
yeah,
it together on the golf course. Even for the recreational player, it can be super duper frustrating. So let's see here. We got a couple of things coming up. I don't think we'll do picks for the 3M. There's not a ton of notables in the 3M that's coming up next week, so we'll probably do
we'll do
just
some picks
something.
next week for the
Yeah, we'll
following.
do some picks next week for the Wyndham because that's the last one before the FedEx Cup starts, or the playoffs start rather. And then it'll be fun to see. We can look at who's going to make it, who's not going to make it. Who's going to advance. That's going to be fun to kind of project some of that. So, and as we go through the FedEx, the BMW, and then we've also got in between there after the BMW, we've got the Ryder Cup selections coming up. So that's going to be
There were some
really
major
fun.
auditions going on this weekend.
Ooh, I'll say. Yeah. It's going to make it interesting for sure. I think it's going to be really cool to see who can squeeze their way in, perhaps with a win or with something. Is Keegan going to put himself on the team? Is he going to just be the captain? I mean, I honestly, he's played his way into the top 10 or something like that at this point. So if he continues to play well throughout the rest of the season, I don't see why he shouldn't play. But I know it's tough I think it's tough for those guys to really, you got to try and pick partners and all this other stuff. And then you have to worry about your own game. I don't know, man. I don't know what's the best solution, but I
I
guess we'll
think he should
see.
stay out of it, to be honest, and just be the
You think
captain.
so?
I do. I think there's enough responsibility for that position, let alone to play as
Yeah.
well. But that's my 2 cents. I mean, he finished -4 this weekend, tied for 30th.
Yeah.
Played well. Yeah, it's okay.
It's the end of September for the Ryder Cup. I'm looking forward to that. I always like the Ryder Cup. I think it's a fun tournament. There's a lot of good rivalries that go on, and it's always a good time. So we've got the 3M this coming weekend in Minnesota, and then you've got the Wyndham. And the Wyndham is the last chance for anybody to get into the FedEx Cup Playoffs. There's some folks that probably are going to need to do really, really well there. There might be some people that it's like win or go home. So that'll be fun to keep an eye on as we get through the 3M and take a look at those stories. And we'll certainly talk about that on the next podcast for sure. But we've got a lot of stuff coming up, and we've got some really cool things going on at InReg Apparel as well.
Yeah. Please go visit us at inregapparel.com.
Yeah, don't forget to look us up. We are also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I do live streams a few days a week from the range early in the morning at like 7 in the morning ish. Some days it takes longer to get there than others and get set up. Some days I get there and the range is closed and I'm not allowed to use it. That happened twice this past week. So I put the live stream schedule out and then I go to the range and I can't get on the range. So whatever. Saturday was a good one. That was nice. I was on for a little over an hour, actually. And a lot of folks joined, and we got a lot of viewers and some good commenters and stuff. But other than that, we've got some really cool stuff. I'm actually wearing one of our polos today.
Yep.
So,
and we have these things available now in a local Lehigh Valley store. That's not actually an apparel store, but Art of Flight. I'm going to give a shout out. That's located at the Bethlehem Golf Course for strength training on golf, and also virtual simulators for working on your game. Fantastic place. But you can go see our stuff and purchase from that location as well as we've assigned that location as a local pickup for anyone who's in the area who wants to purchase online.
That is correct. If you are local to the Lehigh Valley area and you don't want to pay shipping, you can go there to pick it up. So, and Art of Flight has TrackMan simulators. And like you were saying, fitness training for golf lessons, great spot. The owner's a great guy, and the staff is all really nice and friendly. And check them out if you're local to
Very excited to work with them.
Bethlehem Easton area. Yeah, and you can also go see some of our InReg apparel hanging up there. So, yeah. So anyway, I think that's kind of it for this week, Chris.
I think that's going to wrap it. Yeah. And I want to say,
all right.
Cheers to you, Mike.
Cheers one more time to you, and cheers to everybody out there listening.
Another happy belated birthday and happy anniversary to you and your wife.
Thank you. And yeah, everybody have a great rest of your week. Get to inregapparel.com. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And we'll catch you on the next one. See y'all later.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Thanks, everybody.